done the work, provided, showed up, adapted when life changed. And now there's a huge tug inside of you, not to quit, but to shift. You're wondering, is there something more out there that fits me now? Not who you were 20 years ago or in your 20s, but who you've become after going through a divorce or taking care of a loved one or losing a sick one or going through a job loss or thinking about retiring or you're in retirement. Is there something more for me now? These transitions that I just spoke about can reshape how we feel and our values and our goals for the future a lot of times. If you've ever whispered, I want something more that fits me again, or I want something different, then this episode is for you. You're not tired of working. You're tired of how you're working. You've evolved, and your role hasn't. Welcome to Thriving Through Transitions. I'm Vicki Joern, a financial advocate. This series is entitled Career Shifts, When the Job No Longer Fits Who You Are. This is episode 2, Your Second Act Career. Rewire, Reinvent, or Rest. Today we'll be talking about your next version of working or your next chapter, or what it could look like. If this message resonates with you, please like or subscribe or share it with someone who might be asking some of the same questions. We're going to be talking about second act careers, not a restart, but a reset. A second act is more flexible, more meaningful, and more aligned with who you are today. It's not about finding a new job. It's about discovering a new rhythm for your season, for the season you're in your life. One that honors your experiences, your energy, and your values. This applies to so many people, professionals who have lost their job and are trying to rebuild with more intention. People returning to their job after a hard season, whether it was grieving, taking care of a loved one, or divorce. Anyone questioning whether their current career still fits who they are. People of any age looking for peace and purpose, not just a paycheck. People that have left corporate life and aren't sure what's next. And anyone who's quietly asking, is there more to work than just this? Second act careers aren't just about income. They're about impact, purpose, and finding your joy in your career, in your life, your purpose. I want to talk about 3 root causes when looking at second act career. The first one is evolving identity. You've changed, and your work no longer reflects who you are. Can you relate to that? You create more authenticity in how you spend your time. You want to spend hours and look back and realize that I miss all of my family and other things that I'm interested in. You want more purpose. Let me tell you a short story about a client of ours. He spent 20 years in engineering management. When his wife passed away, he went back to work. But everything had changed. The numbers, the projects he was assigned, they felt empty to him. He didn't want to quit, but he just wanted his time to matter more. Today, he teaches part-time at a community college, helping young engineers launch their careers. He feels more joy in helping others, and that is what he was missing. His goals in his life had changed, and what he wanted to do, he wanted more purpose. Sometimes the second act isn't about status, it's about legacy. Number 2 is values can realign. You want purpose, not pressure. Fulfillment over prestige. I'd like to share my story. Many years ago, I worked as an engineer with a master's in business, and I was very challenged, but I didn't feel fulfilled. My life, I wanted to work with people and help them in the financial industry. It made me It was what I needed in my life, where I saw myself. And it was a hard decision, quitting that career and moving on to something else and having to study for it. But let me tell you, I don't look back. I don't regret what I did. Sometimes I can say, well, I wish I had never done engineering, but it was meant to be. I had a foot in the door. It was just my journey. But making these decisions for the second act are not always easy, but they can be very fulfilling. And I recommend that you have support from your family, because they're going to be on that journey with you. It was quite the experience that I went through trying to make that decision. And number 3 is financial flexibility. Maybe you don't have to work the same hours. You're not working 40 plus hours a week, weekends, nights. You've got more flexibility. That's wonderful. Or maybe you just want the work to mean something different to you, because your values had changed. But either way, it's time to rethink the possibilities that you have in front of you. And I encourage you to do that. I want to discuss some signs and symptoms of wanting to have a second act career. You're tired, but not from work, but from the misalignment. You feel disengaged in meetings. You're there, but you're not excited like you used to be. You give them feedback, but if you weren't there, you don't think it would really make a difference. You fantasize about teaching, or about traveling, or about having your own business or consulting. You're thinking about something else. You find yourself saying, I just want to enjoy what I do again. And you might find yourself saying, if not this, what's next? And maybe you don't have that answer yet, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that. Let go of that pressure of sticking it out, that little thing that's in your brain that says just stick it out and you'll get over it. A lot of people don't get over it. Now, maybe you will, but you don't have to get over it. You can work towards that. Holding on isn't always a strength. Sometimes it's just a habit. We're afraid of what's next. What if I don't make it? What if I can't do this? You've already shown your dedication in your current career. So now let's listen to what your future career or opportunities are, because you were so dedicated before, but you'll be dedicated for the future too. You've earned the right to reinvent yourself. So ask yourself these questions. What skills or gifts do I still want to use? And in what way? You've got a lot of skill and you've learned so much, and you have so much wisdom. So what can you move forward in your second act career? And ask yourself this, what kind of pace feels right for that second act career, for the season of life you're in? Another question would be, what part of my past work gave me energy, fueled me, maybe wanted to get up and move forward? What excited me? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? With my time, not just my title. And how do I want to feel at the end of my work week? I hear people ever so often saying, I'm in my 70s and I'm still working. I love my job. I don't hear that very often from a lot of people, but I love my job. I have flexibility. I work from home. I still see people. I don't plan on quitting unless I'm forced out, but I love my job. So how many of you feel that same way? They can't, truly, a weekend passes on a Monday, they're excited about working again. That's true joy. Your worth isn't measured by your title. Your worth is measured by how it aligns with your values and what matters to you. So I'd like to talk to you about some simple, actionable steps. Write your second act wish list. What's important to you? A flexible schedule, working remotely, being around people, travel, coaching, consulting. Write all of this down. Or is it seasonal? Put that on that list. What's your wish list? Number 2, research 2 to 3 possibilities. What field aligns with your passions? Or maybe you have some hobbies that you might take to the next level. Research them. Or talk to someone that might be doing that. and pick the brain. Number 3, run the numbers with a financial advocate. If you're not sure you can do your second act career because you're still working towards your future retirement, have someone run the numbers with you, a financial advocate, a financial advisor, which I do both. And have them look at the numbers with you. You're going to have everything together and see if it's a possibility. And also make sure that if you're married, that your spouse is on board, because having that support is so important. Number 4, try a micro experiment. Maybe take a class or do a project, work with a client, and just see if what you're thinking about is really your passion. Trying it, you might find that it's not exciting like you thought it was. And talking to people and following them, it very well might be you go, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want to do, or no. And at least you've tried it and it's an experiment. Talk to others in second acts. They are great sources of information. You can find out if it's really something you're thinking about. And they can also give you some ideas and referrals and how they would go about doing things and getting into the career. That's a great opportunity. And if you don't know someone, ask a friend, ask around, because they most likely know someone that you would never have thought about, or they can introduce you. Your second act doesn't have to be about a sequel. It can actually be a fresh story, something totally different. You may be starting something new, but this time you're bringing everything that you have learned with you. Whether you want to reinvent, rewire, or just rest, this next chapter is yours to define. It could be that you might want to take a little time off just to regroup before you start your next chapter. Sounds pretty wonderful. Is there something on your bucket list you would like to do? Please share your thoughts in the comments below of something you'd like to do in your second act, your second career. I always love to hear about it. People are always getting back with me and letting me know what their thoughts are, and sharing, and that is so wonderful. It shows that you're listening and that these series are touching hearts and people. And you always know that you can call me at 832-698-2010 if you just need a guiding or a helping hand. You can also go to our website at www.beefinancialpartners.net. And always know that I'm Vicki Joern, and be financially prepared for today and the uncertainties of tomorrow.